Hello Steve. Hello Jill. It's time to game classy.
Steven Universe is I like Steven Universe, but my problem with a lot of Cartoon Network's lineup right there is it's very boy heavy in terms of like its content.
Steven Universe is 3 females and 1 boy.
But the male, that's like the only one that I can make a justification for, but still the main character is a boy. Like there's no shows with like real female leads in it and I'm just saying this as a father of a girl, so I would like to have something at least, I appreciate that Steven Universe has like powerful female characters and Teen Titans Universe as well. Like that, but that's a team show, but I would like something where there was a girl character.
It's called The Legend of Korra.
That's a little old for Penny though.
You mean for damn wiener kids?
Legends. First of all, your farts stink worse than usual, and like I could still smell it. And that was like done like 2 minutes ago.
Can you taste it, Joe?
I mean, and I probably wouldn't make this complaint if I didn't have a daughter, which is fine. But as a father of a daughter, I would like my kid to be able to watch a show that's not Littlest Pet Shop.
What about My Little Ponies?
Or My Little Pony that actually has a female character and is like a strong female lead for her age. She's only 3 years old, but she loves watching cartoons. And, we watch Steven Universe and
Adventure Time.
Gumball. Yeah, Adventure Time.
I fucking love Gumball. That show's so good. That show's so good.
What's the other one? Not Steven. What's the other one that's it's like Steven Universe with the boy character, Clarence. She likes Clarence.
That did not strike my fancy. I was not a fan.
What about Uncle Grandpa?
I hate Uncle Grandpa. Oh my God, the worst thing. So
Penny loves Uncle Grandpa like nobody's. I like Uncle Grandpa because it reminds me of Don Martin cartoons from Mad Magazine, and that makes me laugh because like I was a kid when I used to read that. But
Annoying Orange was the worst thing on Cartoon Network, and they shit canned it.
Thank God, because Annoying Orange was terrible.
Yes, and then they replaced it with Uncle Grandpa, and I'm like, God damn it!
I like
Uncle Grandpa.
Actually, Uncle Grandpa kind of. I follow through with Uncle Grandpa just because it's like this is a really dumb show, but it does have some really
seems
funny
like
parts.
A super stoner show.
It really kind of and a little kid show because Penny fucking loves it.
Little kids and super stoners frequently operate on the same
level. Yeah. It's just one of those things. So like when you actually look at the Cartoon Network schedule, there's like really no show with a strong female lead. The only exception would be Teen Titans Go, but that's like a team show. And she likes that. She likes Starfire and Raven, which is great because then I'm like, oh, sweet, I'm going to buy a Starfire Raven toy for her. Oh, wait, they all have gigantic breasts and are wearing bikinis. This is not what I want.
Don't they have Teen Titan Go toys?
They don't really. They have like little statuettes that are about like an inch or 2 inches tall, so that's what I ended up buying for her. Because she just happened to have like a bunch of other superheroes. She likes all superhero stuff.
That's surprising that they don't have toys for the show.
I know. Tell me about it. I'm like, hey, DC, I will give you money. Like, this is a no-brainer for me. Penny likes the show. I will buy her toys for the show. I mean, even if the figures were like $10, $12 each, I probably would pick them up for her. I picked up like the DC animated stuff. She got Wonder Woman and Supergirl and all that fun stuff. But why? What's going on here? So I don't know. It's kind of annoying for me because you gotta get good toys for her. And Marvel, even though Marvel does function slightly higher than DC when it comes to like feminine equality, still even all their toys, it's like hard it is to find a fucking female toy. It's just fucking hard. They're always the chase figure in those fucking boxes that you get. It's like, oh, we have 18,000 Captain America and Hulks, but we have one Miss Marvel. So
don't forget about the variant Wolverine with the purple and brown tongues. This is super sweet.
He's
got half bone and half metal claws.
It's Wolverine in Arctic camo gear. Fucking Arctic camo Batman. Worst figure ever.
What about underwater action Batman?
Yeah, but you could take him in the bathtub.
You could take him in the bathtub.
If you're in a sunny environment that does not get snow, Arctic camo Batman is a really useless figure.
It's true. Not bad around here, though.
No, not bad around here, especially in the winter months.
Blustery winter
it's gonna
months.
Be fucking cold this year. All right, aside from that...
When is it not?
Yeah. So, this may be our last podcast. Just to let you guys know out there, this is Game Classy. I'm your host, Joe, and with me, as always, is Steve. No funny comment here.
Esteban. De la Muerto.
Actually, I got I don't know why that reminded me of, but I got an email about the
My luchador name?
no, not your luchador name.
Oh.
About the RPG that we did last week with Cliffhanger, and someone said that we should make that a regular segment. So
Of what? Making up RPGs about Cliffhanger?
No, RPGs about action movies.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought it was. I thought he specifically wanted us to dedicate some time to like role playing Cliffhanger every so often. I'd be like, just gonna be the same thing.
Yeah.
Climbing a mountain.
He said that we should do it with more Sylvester Stallone movies like Cobra or But,
Cobra's a good movie.
yeah, but I don't really know anything about Cobra. I saw Cobra like maybe twice in my
He
lifetime.
drives around in his giant gun.
Yeah. Doesn't he have an Uzi? I don't remember.
He has a very large pistol at some point in the film.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know, but I think we could do it with any action movie, like perhaps Point Break or something like that.
Ah! All right, roll the dice. Fire the gun in the
scream and I shoot my gun up in the air.
Yeah, roll the dice. All right, it looks really cool.
No, roll the dice. You do not.
No, you drop the pistol.
And you shoot yourself in the balls.
Ooh, that's
Did you
gonna be
roll
some
a 1?
damage.
Yeah, I rolled a 1. Let me see it. No, you can't see it. No, let me. Now I have to see the die. Oh, I moved it. It's
I already bumped into it.
It's already
Sorry.
bumped into it. Sorry about that. But I don't know. I don't know why Esteban made me think that. But for whatever.
It isn't just Esteban. It's Esteban.
Esteban.
De los Muertos.
That's your luchador name.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are. This might be our last show because Games Workshop is hiring for a new CEO, and they put it out on their website that they're looking for a CEO. I don't know why they're doing it this way.
They contacted me at my private residence.
Did they PM you?
Yeah, they're scouting me pretty hard.
They're scouting you pretty hard. So Steve, what would make you let's role play for a little bit here.
Okay.
Like, this is a gaming podcast. We're gonna role play. I'm gonna role play as the Games Workshop head of HR, I guess, or just the HR employee that's looking for the CEO.
Okay, so you're DMing this.
I guess I'm DMing this.
Okay.
And you are going to be the application. You're the applicant for the position of
you're DMing.
CEO.
Got it.
Okay. I wonder if they call it that. The HRDM. That'd be a great position name. All right. So, Steve, it says here that you're interested in being the CEO of Games Workshop.
All right, I deftly scanned the room, looking for any treasure or any traps that could possibly be around.
Do you have any dice here? I don't have any dice.
I definitely have a bunch of dice.
Yeah, I just don't see them. Oh, hold on. All right. You see in the corner a stack of dark Eldar sprues.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. Does my opponent look like he could possibly be thwarted by me hurling sprues at him?
No, he's about 5'8". Looks like he's from
Liverpool?
Liverpool. No,
Oh, man.
Northampton. He's from Northampton.
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 All right. Then
No, you don't get to roll.
I'm using my charisma check.
You don't get to
I
roll,
wanna
though.
make
I'm
a
the DM.
I'm using a charisma check to make a swarthy comment about Hamish's mom.
I roll.
That's not how role playing works.
Yes, it is. You make a swarthy comment about Hamish's mom. So that does not answer his question. This is an NPC, man. It's not like an actual foe you're fighting. He just wants to know what would make you qualified.
I'm going to defeat him in social combat.
Okay.
All right. What would make me qualified to run Games Workshop? I don't know. Fuck them. I want a bunch of money.
Okay.
Hire me. I'll take some money and I'll leave. I'll be just like the last guy.
Okay. Well, that seemed to work for us for a little bit. What changed?
More reprints. More reprints.
What?
I'll reprint Blood Bowl limited edition special release.
Oh, so you're
And
talking
then,
about like how they just reprinted Space Hulk?
Yeah. So anytime you need an influx of cash, you just reprint a game and then you put it back you just play it like Disney, like, well, you better get it before it goes back in the vault. You might never see it again.
I don't know. I actually
That's what I would do.
I hate that for Disney, but I think that might actually work for Games Workshop, like a limited edition box sets that just come out and come back every 5 years, maybe with some updated rules or something.
Updated rules.
Yeah.
This is why you'll never be CEO, and I will.
I know.
And as a matter of fact, speaking of rules, I think it can really bring the game in a bold new direction. What we're going to do is for each edition, we're actually just going to take different parts of older editions and copy and paste the text. So for, what is it, 9th edition, I believe, no?
A fantasy? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay.
I think it's 9th. Yeah.
It would be 9th, yes.
So for 9th edition, we're going to take the fluff of First Ed, make sure everybody can really sink their teeth in for the veterans. And then we're going to take, flight rules from 5th, combat resolution
rules from 5th.
Combat resolution.
You got me hard right here, man.
Combat resolution from 6th.
Oh, no. What about flanking? Can I flank?
Flanking rules we're going to take most of the combat modifiers. Resolution is going to be from 6, but modifiers, those are probably going to come from 7. And then we'll take the charge rules from 8.
Boner going down.
And then we'll take
boner going down more.
Well, I don't care about your boner. You're your possible Games Workshop customer.
I know.
Your boner is the least of my concern. The only boner I care about is my
HRDM.
stockholders' boners.
Oh, okay.
Where I'm going to save all this money by not hiring new writers, just copy pasting. So when the new the Deldar book comes out, it's going to have no new content. It's just going to be shuffled around
What's
content.
this Dark Eldar book you talk about?
The Deldar.
All I've ever seen from Games Workshop are these codexes that come out with stupid fucking names like Adeptus Dildocus and shit like that. And I'm just like, what is this book even for? Is it for... That's an Imperial Guard book. Then what does it fucking say, Imperial... Oh my god, I gotta tell you a funny fucking story about Game Store. So I was at LGS and... this guy, I was just talking with him and it was great, and we were talking about just 40k fantasy, and
I believe we should call them lugs.
Ligs?
Yeah, and if they're nice, we should call them fligs.
Fligs?
Yeah.
Well, this is a ligs.
All right, you were at a lugs.
I was at a ligs, and I'm sitting there, I'm talking with this guy, and he's an older guy, and he goes, yeah, I played 40k for a long time. My kids played, he's an older guy, and he's like, my kids played 40k. I was mostly into, he says, I was mostly into railroads, and then they started using my railroad stuff for 40k, so I kind of got into it. And he's like, oh, that's great. And he's like, yeah, they were really into the Imperial Guard. And I was like, oh, yeah. So yeah, the Astra Militium or whatever they're calling it now. He goes, yeah, you know why they can't call them Imperial Guard? Because Disney bought Star Wars and they own Imperial Guard now. And then Dwayne, who I was playing against, goes, I don't believe that story at all. It was just like the perfect like cap to it. Like, I don't believe that story at all. It's true, because everything is now like saviors of the penis buttverse and shit like that. I'm like, what is this even for? I don't know this. I'm like, this is bullshit.
Great balls of the Emperor.
The great balls of the Emperor. The Emperor's balls. Oh, that's going to be my chapter.
The Emperor's balls?
Yeah, just do a Space Marine chapter, but paint them like flesh and have their shoulder pad be black, but a pair of testicles drawn onto it.
I think you should just use black static grass for pubes and get that done.
Yeah, I don't want to. What chapter symbol has 3D methods onto it? So what I want to do is I want to do
it's just you don't give them a chapter symbol. They're mysterious. Like, I don't know, like the Rainbow Warriors or something. They didn't have a symbol for a while. Rainbow Warriors.
With the powers of the rainbow. Red, blue, green. We have another 80s cartoon going on here.
The Rainbow Warriors.
The Rainbow Warriors.
They could have a crossover with the Dinotaurs.
The Dinotaurs and Rainbow Warriors.
Dinotaur and Rainbow Warriors Power Hour.
They could grow out like the GoBots and Rock Lords.
The awesome Tad Rex.
Rock Lords. God damn it, I had some Rock Lords too. What a fucking stupid toy. I mean, they were cool.
It was a rock, and then it turned into a guy. It's like, yeah, I'm ready to battle.
I had their leader Granite and the sidekick Nugget, who was a gold Rock Lord, because he turned into a rock. I think that was the Rock Lords the GoBot one, or was
I believe Rock Lord. I thought Rock Lords was a He-Man spin-off.
Yeah, but there's another one that was a
He-Man.
Yeah, there was another one that was like a GoBot.
Fabulous secret powers that were given to me.
I say, hey, what's going on?
It's good stuff.
It's one of the greatest things ever.
While you were singing that, I opened this up.
Oh, that's a good He-Man.
That's a pretty sweet He-Man costume with the inflatable muscles.
Yeah, Halloween's coming up, so Steve is going as a Steven Universe character. Oh, I'm not supposed to tell people?
You spoiled it.
All right.
Oh, actually, you didn't actually spoil it because you just said what I'm going from. So
yeah,
we're all right.
Yeah, yeah.
No one will guess I'm secretly going as Squidward. SpongeBob.
You would make the worst. Like, you look nothing like Squidward.
Absolutely
You would
nothing.
be the worst Squidward.
It would
ever.
be awesome. I could have the clarinet and just be like, ah.
Yeah, but okay. So getting back to what we were originally talking about with Games
My
Workshop.
nose isn't fairly large enough at all.
Yeah. What do you think? Why are they put? Why did they put it online? Do you think it was just for fan service, or Because they're obviously going to hire Tom Kirby's wife, is what they're going to do. Everyone knows that. But why did they put that on there?
There is no way to use logic, reason, or any sort of scientific method to explain Games Workshop. Because Games Workshop is fucking random, and they're just going to do whatever. They don't even, like, they might say they care about money, and people might always be like, they're so greedy, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, I mean, they might do some things that are like, oh, hey, we're trying to rake you over the coals for the cash here. But they're fucking random as piss.
Yeah.
They're just like, we're doing this. Maybe I seriously think the Games Workshop planning is like they have a giant dartboard that has everything that Games Workshop's ever done, and they just keep making the dartboard bigger. So they never take a piece away, and they just keep throwing darts at it.
I mean, because it's like,
I thought my idea was good. Just rehash everything.
yeah.
Make it look nicer.
Well, that's my idea for...
I'll fire all the writers.
Yeah, I mean, like, okay, so no one's playing Fantasy. What do we do? Well, why don't we bring back Fantasy to when people were playing it? Okay, 6th edition. Boom. Re-release 6th edition. Call it 9th edition. Call it a day. Fucking fantastic. I'd be like, hey.
Definitely you should get rid of lapping around, though.
You don't like lapping?
No.
I always like lapping.
I don't like lapping around.
I played Hobgoblins.
I don't like
That's
lapping
what
around.
Sneaky gets.
I don't like removing casualties. So if they can get rid of those two things...
Well, I don't think you're going to get rid of removing casualties, but lapping around doesn't exist pretty much anymore either.
Yeah, I know. But that's okay. Because I don't care. If I want to play a game with a lot of guys, I'll just play Kings of War.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
2 seconds to play.
As a guy who likes playing Fantasy, I would be the first person to go, like, if they said, like, yeah, fuck it, we're just bringing back 6th edition, it's 9th edition, it's to say, or just go, or here's 9th edition, I look at the rules, and it's just like, it's literally the 6th edition rule book, just with the cover
With a
cut
new-
off.
new
and then
cover, and it's
rebound.
$100?
Yeah. And I'll be like, all right, I'm for this. Who wants to play?
You spent $100.
Dalanois, you want to play?
You spent $100 on a rulebook you already own.
I'd be like, Dalanois, let's play some Fantasy. I bring out my beautifully fucking painted Empire army. He's like his unpainted Dalanois. Well, I shouldn't say unpainted. The Dalanois Gray Dwarves.
Yes, Delanois Gray.
Or actually, probably Dalanois Silver because he's that old of a player.
Delanois Grilver, because there's probably going to be some plastic. Yeah.
Ah, I like that. The Dalanois Grover Dwarf army. And I'd be like,
The
God
mighty
damn it.
Grilver.
It's really funny playing bolt action.
I think you mean butt action.
Playing butt action with like someone like Lyson and even Dave Max and all these people who have these beautifully painted armies, and we're all out there playing around. And then there's like the Dalanois Grelver, Grilver, the Grilver army in the corner. We're just like, God fucking damn it! You can't take a picture of this beautifully painted game because you got this like unpainted howitzer in the fucking corner. It's like fucking A. Hold to a higher level.
Why didn't someone just paint his toys for him?
Oh, it's gonna come to that eventually. I don't think he wants it. He doesn't want anyone touching his beautifully cleaned models.
It's true. He does spend an insane amount of time with some of these models for someone who's never going to have a piece of paint touch them.
Yeah. Okay. So back to what we were talking about. I took off on these fucking tangents. I think the CEO thing is just. I think they're trying to do some community outreach after Tom Kirby acting as the Emperor.
Let me just make the jerky motion right here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember back in the games
Community reach around.
The community reach around. Back in the day, not that Games Workshop had a ton of community interaction. They tried with forum, and then someone said, like, fuck Games Workshop on the forum. They're like, whoa, shut it down, shut it down.
Shut it all down. Somebody said we're dicks. Shut everything down.
But yeah, they used to have some community interaction, so maybe now that Tom Kirby's gone, they might go back to that. Because Tom Kirby was probably like, I don't understand the internet. Why are we selling things why are people selling our stuff on the internet?
Why was I programmed to feel shame?
Yeah. But yeah, so maybe they're trying to get back to a little bit of this community outreach. They should hire, like, they'll hire someone from the outside as a banana It's like when Putin stepped down as president of Russia for a little bit, and they brought in that other guy, Medvedev.
Banana Republic guy?
Yeah, the Banana Republic guy. And they brought in that one guy, and then it was like...
They got some terrible shorts.
And then Putin was like, it doesn't matter. I'm the supreme overlord of Russia for now anyway. So that's what it's going to be. It's going to be, they're going to put in a CEO, but it's really going to be Tom Kirby pulling the strings like some sort of dictator, like a puppet master.
A puppet regime?
Yeah, like Cheney was in the early 2000s.
Lon Chaney?
Yeah, Lon Chaney, the man of 1,000 faces.
Yes. Good
But
stuff.
yeah, quite like that. So that's my opinion on the matter. Not that it matters two fucks. Hey, want to talk about the Dark Eldar?
No.
Actually, those models look pretty good.
I never want to talk about Games Workshop. Ever.
I like that model a lot. the models that then they came out.
I didn't even look at them. I don't follow anything Games Workshop
They're too
anymore.
fucking expensive. I would never buy them, but I mean, if they were within my price range, I'd be like, oh,
Actually, if you posted on the Game Class Facebook page, I actually look at it.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know nothing what's going on with Games Workshop.
yeah.
Just tain't worth my time.
Want to talk about some games that like we actually play? Okay.
But you can talk about butt action more.
So anyway, we talk about Cryptozoic's card games a lot because we like the methods. I like the DC one. Steve likes the Lord of the Rings and the Aliens one.
Alien is not Cryptozoic.
That's the other one.
That's Upper Deck. It's totally
Upper
different.
Deck. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do the Legendary, right?
Yes.
The Marvel Legendary.
Yes.
But you like the Lord of the Rings one, the Cryptozoic one,
and the Hobbit.
and the Hobbit, and the Street Fighter one. Yeah. And you like the DC one, you just don't think it's like super balanced.
Yeah, the second DC one was much better.
The second DC one is so fun.
Heroes Unite.
But anyway, so they released an expansion pack for the game. It was like $15-$20 or whatever. But it was a bunch of new cards, new heroes.
You get co-op hero, a group of co-op heroes, and then additional more versus heroes.
Yeah, and they released an alternate like way of playing the game so that you're no longer playing against each other. It's actually a co-op play. They're called crisis cards. Steve had a problem with one or two of them. He was very upset about it.
I found that a lot of I have my problem with the co-op crisis thing is it seems like most of it is designed to artificially increase the length of the gameplay.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make it more fun to play longer. Because normally a game of like DC deck building or whatever, they'll take like half hour, 45 minutes.
It takes like no time at all to play.
Half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We all play these games frequently. We played Crisis for like 3 hours. And
Yeah.
it didn't feel like anyone was doing anything wrong. It's just that it so grossly inflated the playtime. It left a horrible taste in my mouth, and I never want to play it again.
Yeah, some of these seem like they'd be like pretty quick, like a death in the family. Each player must destroy a defense card in his hand. That's not hard.
You would be
I
surprised.
mean, it'll take a while, but you realize that in order to beat this crisis, everyone has to at least buy a defense card. And when you buy those defense cards to know that you're going to have to destroy one eventually.
You also have to clear all the villains out of the lineup at all times. To beat any crisis.
Yeah.
There can be no villains in the lineup. And then, and that's another one that makes that countdown one really miserable because Lobo there's only 2 7 cards I can think of. Lobo and Wonder Woman. Lobo doesn't work because he's a villain. So you can't use him to satisfy a condition of the crisis. So like if you don't have Wonder Woman.
Man of Steel 7.
Man of Steel's 8.
Oh. Maybe,
That's what I'm saying. 7 is really hard to find.
Yeah.
So and so I thought that was really shitty. There's another one too.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a couple of them, but it seemed more like rather than producing more of a challenge. That's the other thing too. Did not feel that we were in any danger of losing the game at any point, at all. So it's like 3 hours of a foregone conclusion, and it's like, okay, well, we're gonna win. I guess we're gonna keep playing.
Yeah, I mean, but
it was shit. I would never suggest it. However, the new versus mode characters are sweet.
Yeah, they are.
And then there's a few other cards that they have that are good
some
too.
of the stuff in here is like really cool. The powers, the villains that they added are fun. All of that stuff, and the heroes. Some of these are pretty shitty. I mean,
dude, Swamp Thing, so good.
Swamp Thing is so good. I know. He's like, oh, every location out there I get to use. Oh, that's awesome. I'm like,
Swamp Thing is the jam.
Flash blows again.
Flash is awesome. What are you talking about?
You go first. Once during each of your turns, you have to play.
That's the co-op Flash.
Oh, that's the co-op Flash.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you have that. There's the crisis, and then there's just the regular superheroes.
There's a split of characters.
I see. Yeah.
Because all the ones that are crisis, you don't want to play them in versus because they help you other players.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
It's like Wonder Woman destroys cards for everyone.
Yeah, but the regular versus superheroes are pretty good. Constantine, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
Did you watch Godhand, by the way?
The game for PlayStation 2 was inspired by Fist of the North Star and or known as Hokuto no Ken.
The TV show Gotham.
Oh, Gotham. I thought you said Godhand.
Gotham. Gotham. Gotham.
Well, now you understand my confusion.
Yes.
No, I didn't. It looked fucking stupid. And the one thing I heard about it was that it was the OC.
You know what the problem with it is like, it's always like, it was like too much information all at once, and they were like, all right, Penguin, I don't like being called Penguin. Oh, that guy's the Penguin. I get it now.
Here's the problem with superhero TV shows. They're fucking stupid.
Somebody save me.
Superhero TV shows are bad. They will always be bad.
I love Arrow.
Except for the early 90s Flash. That was pretty sweet. I mean, I liked that when I was a kid. I haven't seen it in forever.
That's terrible.
I do know Mark Hamill's in it.
I liked it when I was a kid.
If I remember correctly.
I liked it when I was a kid too, but it's terrible. I really liked Arrow. Arrow was really fun.
Just because you like to see the butt, the Arrow butt. Oh,
I
wait,
do.
No, do they show his butt?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just like butt.
I don't know if they do.
I'm like Tina from Bob's Burgers. I just love butts.
Butt.
But yeah, so I haven't played the expansion yet. I'm looking very much forward to it. It looks very cool, so I'm excited about it.
I highly recommend the using of the things in the verses.
Using of the things in the verses.
Yeah, I don't like the crisis.
That's fine.
Oh, the biggest thing too is you have to defeat both the crisis and the villain, etc. Like you have to do it. I don't know, I thought it was like it should have been like a package deal. Like the crisis should have added a modifier to the because you can keep the villain deck random. The crisis could have just added a cost modifier to the villain. So the villain costs 14 or whatever. To win, you need to fulfill the requirements of the crisis and pay off the villain. Just be like, meh, there you go.
Meh. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah. It just felt very bloated. Like, come on. And it's like we're not gonna lose. We're gonna fucking win.
It just takes up too much time.
Yeah, it's just
and plus
like-
it's co-op, and you hate co-op.
No, not always. I really like the Lord of the Rings LCG, and that's co-op.
Yeah, but if you were playing with someone who really didn't know how to play, you'd be like, ah!
No.
No. And the other thing I brought that
Lord of the Rings LCG is that well designed.
the other thing that I brought that is kind of fun is
Butt action tank war.
tank war. Vroom, 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 vroom. Tanks are going across the battlefield. I like it. It's good. That's all I really wanted to say about it.
Butt action.
It's just fun. It's tanks. It's like I know that you have issues with historical gaming, which I don't disagree with. Because trust me, I've like looked into some Flames of War stuff and other games, and I see the people playing it. I'm just like, fuck. I am not getting involved
You
with
are
this.
one of them now.
I am not one of them.
The hooks are. See, it's the thing. You can say that now, and you might even not fully be. But the claws are in you.
The claws are in my balls.
The claws are in you.
The claws and the balls.
Tendrils, the shadowy tendrils are coming out from the dark corners of the earth. They're ensnaring you, just a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
And soon, before you know it, you'll be wearing suspenders and an old man cap.
Hey, I already
Perhaps even a trilby.
I would. No trilby. But I would like to wear suspenders. Suspenders are awesome.
See? It's already happening.
I've never had a problem with
pinstripe
suspenders.
shirt.
With a pinstripe shirt. It's good at slimming. It works really well for that. Yeah. I mean, I just feel like bolt action is kind of like exact.
I believe you mean
butt action. Sorry. Butt action is the reason why it's everything reason why I wanted to get into games like 40K and things like that, like that platoon level.
Cool Space Marines.
No, I never fucking liked Space Marines. God, your farts are fucking rank today.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know how Nikki puts up with it.
I finally got you.
I mean, you really have. But it's everything that butt action is everything I've liked about that type of game. Platoon level, moving around, playing with toy tanks.
Flame tanks.
Yeah, except for flame tanks. They did Alessio Capitore did like not an FAQ, but kind of just like a discussion of the rules. He's like, yeah, some people have said that, flamethrowers on the tanks are a little overpowered. But I don't really think they're that bad. And everyone was just like, punching holes in drywall, flipping tables. I literally think a bunch of nerds attempted to assault Normandy to take him out.
That's because Alessio Capitore, he came to game. He knows how to play.
I think he came to troll is what he did. Yeah. He was just like,
Was a Skaven player.
He was. He was a bit, he's no Rick Rick Priestley. Is that the other guy?
The orc guy?
Yeah. No, Priestley did Bretonians.
Yeah, exactly. He's no Rick Priestley.
Just to you know what? I wanted to talk about this last week. I totally forgot about it. But apparently the fluff for Warhammer The End is really cool. I know Steve's making the jerky motion because he's drinking liquid. But I just was like, oh, they did that? That sounds pretty cool. But I still don't know anybody who's going to pay like $300 to get Robux for an edition that's going away. So
And the dark necromancer in the deep pyramid, Nagash, used his evil necromantic powers to summon undead. And with his giant army of the undead, he assaulted the Empire. Something that had never been seen before in the history of everything. Except for the last fucking 8 times it happened.
But
Dog shit. If you think the Warhammer Fantasy fluff is good, you've got some super questionable taste.
I like the Warhammer Fantasy.
It's goddamn generic fantasy.
I know, but that's what I like about it.
Okay, that's fine. But saying you like generic fantasy is different than being like invested in the fucking.
Oh yeah, I'm not invested in
That's
it.
what I mean.
I'm not. But I like it. I think
I'm
it's
talking
fun.
about like the same people who are just like can recount all the adventures of Dritz to you. Like, and this one time he was fighting with 2 katana blades on the top of a stairwell. And then
Have you read the latest Horse Heresy book, Horse's Balls?
that's got nothing in the latest Dritz book. Dritz nuts.
But in Horse's Balls, Ingmar goes through a 12-chapter journey into his own psyche.
Yeah, well, in Dritz nuts, he manages to take that one guy, Elminster, and he totally jerks him off.
I know your hatred for Elminster. I don't know why. But.
I now just describe Dritz Stewart and jerking off Elminster.
I have a lot of Kickstarter stuff that I want to go over.
Does it have anything to do with Elminster ejaculating?
No,
on
it does not
Dritz's
have
face?
Elminster jacking up. Well, he's that.
I said
Dritz is-
ejaculating.
Oh,
on
jack.
Dritz's
I think you said
face.
jacking.
No.
I was like,
He's
I
getting
thought
jacked.
Dritz is jacking
Yeah,
him
yes.
into his face. Yeah.
And you never notice if he gets it in his hair.
No. Because his hair is all
Stark white.
Yeah, stark white. Yeah. Unless Elminster's jism is perhaps a different color.
I guess it could be. He could just enchant it.
It is the Forgotten Realm, Steve.
It is. There's a lot of powerful magic going on.
There's a lot of powerful magic.
Hello, my name is Elminster, sex wizard.
I just like the concept of saying, well, there's a lot of powerful magic going on. That's like the ultimate nerd thing to say, and to punctuate a cover. It's one of those things that if we were at the bunker and we heard that in the corner, we would just be dying laughing because we'd be saying it constantly.
Yep.
Hoisted by my own
And
petard.
the shot scattered directly back onto his own tank. Oh, what a game!
I guess you could say I was hoisted by my own petard.
Oh, man.
Okay, so something that we didn't talk about.
Shitlords.
Reaper doing another Kickstarter after their
Not
bounce.
BattleTech?
They're doing the BattleTech thing.
No. Not
Battle. Oh,
BattleTech.
yeah, that's right. That's CAV, Strike Operations.
Also known as not BattleTech.
Yeah. They're better looking figs than BattleTech. That's one. Someone on the fucking Facebook page commented on about the fucking about BattleTech. Like, you guys play BattleTech? I'm like, Steve once again is drinking liquid.
Yes, if anyone was playing BattleTech.
Oh, okay. But, I mean, if you're doing it on the Facebook page, you should know our hatred of not our hatred, but our just general disinterest in large robot games.
BattleTech. Why?
Why? Why are you playing that game? You got like 3 years to play a game? Go ahead, do it. But, no, yeah, but someone mentioned it on there, and I was just like, fucking, and I was looking at the BattleTech figures, the new ones that come
Because
out.
the video games are good.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to argue about the video games. They're not really great, but they're good.
For the time, when they came out, they were fucking awesome.
They were. It was just like a simulator. Like, oh my god, my gun is overheating. This is insane.
Oh, shit. I'm fucking taking fire.
Taking fire. I can't see him. I can't see him.
And fucking riding around in the elemental, just like jumping over battle mechs, shooting down in the cockpits. I used to blow out my friend when we used to do a direct internet connection versus battle.
You sir.
We'd dial up,
You,
call
sir.
each other.
Yeah, I would. I never really got to play that because I didn't have the internet until 2001 in my house. But we had. I did play a lot of Dark Forces back
Did you
then.
get Did you get America Online?
I don't remember what we had.
That's
I
what
think
we
my
had.
dad had CompuServe.
Oh, we had America Online.
My dad had CompuServe. My mom didn't have internet till like 2004. So, but yeah, and I had high speed internet cable at school, and I was just like, "Fuck yeah, poor net DSL speeds."
DSL's so fast, nothing will ever be faster.
And, well, technically, my internet connection is about as fast as my as my college fucking connection was. Comcast. But yeah, I was looking at the BattleTech figures, and I was just like, these still look fucking like, who would design a fucking mech that has a face on it? Steve. Who would design a mech that had a face on it?
My favorite BattleTech mechs are the eggs. They look like an egg with feet. I love those.
Or it's got like a fucking axe. Why would someone build
The
an
Hatchet
axe?
Man? Dude, the Hatchet Man's a classic. You can't knock the Hatchet Man.
No, you can, because why would it have an axe? Like,
Because it's there to hit other mechs.
I get it. Back in the fucking 80s and early 90s when you were originally sculpting this, yes, you could get a little goofy. I've seen minis from back then. They were usually terrible. There would be people who sculpt goblins taking dumps. Like, and then people would think it was funny. Like, that goblin's pooping.
Well, it's because you gotta hit the other mech with your axe.
But why?
Why? He doesn't just have an axe. He also has a gun.
Justify that to me in any way, shape, or
Guns
form.
run out of bullets?
But you think an axe would do any more damage than hitting it with a fist?
I mean, it's a super mega powerful axe with a power blade, so yeah.
It has a power blade, sir. Powerful magics are at work.
There's a power blade.
Yeah.
See, you don't understand. You're completely disregarding. You're completely disregarding the struggles that House Steiner went through to design the Hatchet Man. It's one of the
Don't go through the Steiner debate again. I don't need the Steiner debate.
It's one of the most ubiquitous battle mechs out there. Okay, and I don't need you
There's a
disrespecting
reason why
the engineers.
There's a reason why the Jade Falcon don't use it. It's useless.
No, it's because they're clan warriors and they have no honor. They're only going.
You, sir, have no honor in your negative desperations of the Jade Falcon.
Look, we were trying to talk about the Hatchet Man's axe here. We're not,
And how it is useless in fighting.
You're trying to derail the topic. It's useful in scenarios where you need to knock down buildings. You can knock down a building with it, and you wouldn't have to.
Why would it be more useful than a fist?
Because you're not damaging your mech you're piloting.
Yes, you are, because the hatchet is part of the mech.
It's not part of the mech. It's a weapon that he holds. Good God, man!
He doesn't pick it up.
Do your research.
It's part of the mech.
It's not part of the mech. It's a separate piece. God, next you're going to tell me the Atlas is stupid. He has a goddamn skull for a face. It's totally badass.
As I say, I understand that back in the day, but like we can get past that. Like, oh, the Hatchet Man's a classic. Yeah, it's a classic, but the classic doesn't necessarily need to be in this modern version of the game. GW got rid of the squats as much as I love them, and I think they are classic. They're like, you know what? Squats are kind of stupid. We shouldn't have them in the new edition of 40K. And then like everyone's like, yeah, pretty much, yeah. And so they moved forward from that. And there's still people like, hey, what about the squat? Just like if BattleTech got rid of the Hatchet Man, there'd be people like, hey, what about the Hatchet Man? The Hatchet Man was stupid. I like the Hatchet Man. That's my only argument in the debate.
Get the Mad Cat.
The Mad Cat's looks cool. I mean, it's not great, but it's cool looking.
Yeah. I mean, most of the mechs in BattleTech look really bad, just in general.
But I mean, like, how hard is it to design a big robot? I was designing big robots when I was like 3.
I'm sure they looked really cool, Joe.
They did.
I'm sure they looked
They had
awesome.
guns and axes. They had a giant power axe.
He had an axe sticking out of his ass. This is in case anyone gets behind him.
That's exactly it. That's like the Hatchet Man is a giant robot designed by an 8-year-old sitting in fucking school. Like, this is a big robot, and there's a guy driving it right up here in the head, and he has an axe because in case he's got to fight other robots, the axe is the most useful weapon in fighting giant robots.
Well, like the melee weapons of BattleTech kind of like they're definitely like pretty sketchy because BattleTech mechs are so fucking slow.
But they're not real. You could justify it. You could say this mech is super fast. It runs at like 400 miles an hour, and people would be like,
"But there's no BattleTech mech that moves that fast."
I know, but you could just say it because it's made up.
But no, you can't because there's a list of things you can say. It's a game. There's a list of things you can say that happen.
Someone could write a book literally and say like
right,
super fast mechs.
But that doesn't put it into the game.
That doesn't put it into the game.
No, like how does that put it in the game? I could write that like Superman has a 20-inch dick that he uses all the time, literally all the time, and that doesn't mean that in the next Superman comic book he's just going to be deep dicking everything.
Have you read Grant Morrison's latest run?
No. No, Kiwi, you don't understand.
Don't bring this guy back. I don't want anything to do with this guy.
I love that guy.
He's not. I'd much rather deal with Epic Katana guy.
Sorry, man. It's the Immaculate Katana guy.
Immaculate Katana guy. I'd much rather deal with him than the nerd guy who tries to school me on fluff. I've had enough of that guy throughout my life.
I'll be bringing that guy back. that guy's going back in the archives. He's gonna come back out at some point.
Like the Disney archives, bringing him back. The other one.
Did you make the kind of money that Disney gets when they release something from the archives?
Oh fuck! Did I tell you about my epic win as a father, as a dad? My dad win. I think I talked about this in the last podcast. I don't know for sure, but I go to my half price books and all that, and I ended up finding a copy of The Lion King on Blu-ray for $15.
I believe you mean Blu-ray.
It was like Willy Wonka. I just expected an old man to go, "Run home, Joe! Run home!" Like da 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 da.
Lion King is terrible.
Yeah, but when you have a 3-year-old who loves The Lion King, you take that
That's your
opportunity
fault.
and you win.
But that's your fault.
Yeah, it's not my fault. It's just what you do when you're a dad.
No. The fact that your kid likes The Lion King is your fault. You could have just put on Aladdin instead, but you put on
She
the
likes
fucking Lion
Aladdin.
King. All right, well then you just put on Aladdin.
She likes Aladdin. She likes her favorite is right now is Tangled. So, she's a girl.
Tangelid.
Tangelid, yeah.
I like Tangelid.
Did you?
Am I a girl now?
Yeah. You're a big fluffy girl. Why don't you go on Tumblr? Steve shaking his head. That's right.
You're a disappointment to us all, Joe.
I know. Also, another one. Did you know that Cool Mini or Not bought Rotten Bones?
The fuck is Rotten Bones?
Ram and Bones.
What the fuck is ramen bones?
It's not
Other than sounding like the soup.
Yeah, I was like, it's not the soup. It's RON and Bones. They actually and they changed it to Rum and Bowls. Apparently, it was like a Ron is like a foreign version of the word rum. So who the fuck knows? But anyway, it's a pirate game. I'm sure you've seen the figures. They were, I think, the guys had the sculptor had another subset called Tales of War. Very cool looking stuff. But apparently,
Who gives a shit about pirates?
people love pirates. And what's that one pirate game that fucking everyone loves? God damn it! It's been around for a long ass time, and now I can't think of the name of it.
The one where you build the ships out of the cardboard?
Yes, that one.
The other one's just called Pirates.
Yeah. No, these are the figures. If you want to take a look.
7C?
No, I cannot think of the name, but it's like it's a small skirmish game where you build a warband around pirates. And it's not historical; it's actually more fantasy based. It's really cool, actually. But yeah, so Cool Mini or Not bought this, and they're bringing out another Kickstarter for it soon. So I like the figures. I don't know if I would do the Kickstarter, but because it'd probably be expensive as fuck. Because I remember those figures were expensive as fuck.
I don't know. Looks stupid.
It looks stupid.
Looks dumb.
Yeah. Well, anyway, actually, I think the figures look great. I think they have good paint jobs on them, though. So to be honest, and also to update on Kickstarter's Wrath of Kings still not out yet.
Yes.
All right, Steve. So
Delicious Schadenfreude.
laughing at my misery. So, Steve, do you have any gaming stuff to add aside from like Cons of Tarkir or whatever? Have you?
What? Games? What?
Yeah.
Dildos?
Do you have anything
Fun
about
action?
I wanted to talk about games this podcast because people give us a lot of shit on the last one for not talking about games. So
I don't care what people say.
yeah. Well, I mean,
They can say whatever they want. As long as they say it on our iTunes and give us a 1-star review.
well, no, I don't want a 1-star review. I want 4 stars, but they can say whatever they want. Or 5 stars, whatever.
Why can't we have a 1-star?
Because that brings us down in the rankings. I want to go up in the rankings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, if everyone could give us really negative max star reviews, that would be awesome.
That's what I want. Like, people don't understand
that
this.
would be sweet.
Like, I was talking with Pat Beal of the Pat's Retro Video Game Reviews, and I'm just like, and he's like, I completely agree with you. You go to these like you say the top 200 podcasts. There are people who haven't updated in like 3 years, and they're like up there. I don't know how iTunes works. Of some magic, there must be like, it's like Willow, where the person is like, "Well, consult the bones," and they throw the bones down, and and he's like, "The bones tell me nothing." Yeah, it's like
that Peck's got an acorn.
Peck.
Out of the way, Peck. I love that movie.
That movie is unfairly maligned. That is one
People
of the,
don't like that movie?
There are people who hate that movie.
That's not cool.
You know, and it came out when I was really young. It's a fucking great fantasy.
So good. Mad Mardigan.
No, the best part is where he goes.
Mad Mardigan.
The best part is like, "You are the greatest," and he's like got the sword, and then he falls, and then Val Kilmer marries Joanne Wally.
And he steps in troll shit.
He trolls. I hate trolls.
I got the baby.
We go this way.
Oh man, the movie's good.
You're pigs. You're all pigs.
Good stuff.
It really is. And then you got General KO with his skull mask.
The sweet ass skull mask.
Yeah.
That guy's right out of a fucking 80s cartoon.
Oh, it's so good. And I my claim to one of my hardcore nerds, like on my my badges on my nerd card is I actually read the books that George Lucas wrote about After Willow called I think it was Shadow Moon and I can't remember the name of the
Yeah,
other one.
that one I played the NES game.
Well, who didn't play the NES game?
Oh, a lot of people apparently.
Yeah. They hated. I don't understand how people hate Willow. You know why Willow failed? Because there was no good Willow toys when it came out.
That's probably
There was
accurate.
no like 3.5 inch action
You know
figures
what's
for
good?
Willow.
Gremlins.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's got Judge Reinhold in it.
Steven Spielberg. I called this stand Steven Spielberg. Objection, Your Honor.
Man, I mentioned you weren't in any Steven Spielberg movies either. I was in Gremlins. But not Gremlins 2. I'll allow it.
Spielberg only produced Gremlins. But the
power of myth. Speaking of which, have you seen Tusk?
No, not yet.
All right.
Did you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I want to see it.
I've heard completely opposite ends of the spectrum reviews. I have not heard anyone say the movie was like, it was okay. like people either really, really liked it or they fucking hated it.
I thought Red State was okay. I wasn't like
I liked Red State.
I wasn't like great, but I was like okay.
But Red State's not anything. No, I didn't hear that kind of division with Red State.
Yeah, no, I didn't
Like,
either. Red State was a pretty solid horror film.
Yeah, Tusk has been fucking.
I'm a big fan of Smodcast, and I actually heard that episode where he talked about that, and I'm like, this is a terrible idea for a movie. It sounds like something that like me and you would make fun of on the podcast. Like, let's do a cartoon about half human, half dinosaurs.
Well, I think it's the point. I think that's the point. I think it's supposed to be funny. Mm-hmm. Like,
well, it's not supposed to be funny. It's more like it's a horror comedy, sort of
a comedy.
a comedy, if you will, like Telenovela Grover. But yeah, that whole concept. But aside from that, we're running low on time.
I mean, there is cans of Terraker. They came out.
Yeah.
The new magical card set. It's very, very, very popular.
Can't keep it in stock.
Yeah. And in case you're wondering, in case anyone's ever wondering why we talk about Magic, is like I don't think people who don't play Magic or like work in the games industry or anything, I don't think people realize how much Magic is the games industry.
Yeah.
Like, your favorite game, if it's not Magic, no one cares.
Yeah.
Your game could disappear tomorrow entirely, and no one would notice.
But do you have any other gaming stuff besides that?
Not really.
Not really.
I mean, when Magic comes out, there's like this fucking vacuum. It's just like things are avoided. I mean, the Monster Manual came out for
The Monster Manual, yeah, but
the Dungeons and
yeah.
Dragons.
Yeah, I got your money, man.
All right. But there's a vacuum of like release around there. I mean, there's a bunch of new games coming out, and they're all sold out because they're super popular. Like Dead of Winter, that game's sold out. Like, you got to get it if your store has it. Get it.
I looked at it. I wasn't like really impressed by the play mechanics.
It's a hot game. So I wash my hands of the hot games because people are just like, it's hot. People are gonna play it because it's hot, and lots of people are gonna play it. Like,
Yeah.
games steamroll just like movies do. So
Yeah, the only thing that's coming out that I'm really excited about is the
Star Wars Armada?
Star Wars Armada. That's the only one that I'm kind of like, oh yeah, I'm into this. I'm gonna big ships and little flights. I can handle this. I'll put this in my butt.
it's gonna be. You're gonna have a triangle shaped anus.
No, not if I put the Moncal Cruiser up there.
Ooh, the Moncal. Nice. You can add it. We can add it to the shelf with your artisanal dildos.
My artisanal dildo.
Yeah, artisanal dildos, real thing.
That's
actually.
a real thing. I'm aware of artisanal
Pretty awesome.
dildos. Yeah.
Get a big wood block.
I've never heard them referred to as artisanal dildos, but I know what you're
Here's the deal.
talking about.
You order a kit. You get a big wood block. You get a polishing cloth. You get a whittling knife, and you whittle yourself a dildo out of this block, which you polish yourself. And now you have an artisanal dildo.
I don't know why you do that. You could do. There's power tools that are available that would be much more useful with that.
You know, it's a less personal connection.
You put it on a nice 12-inch lathe,
You
and
can
you just
also-
let it spin, and you get yourself. You go, even if you don't want to buy the nice expensive ones, you could go to Harbor Freight and get yourself a couple files, and just let it spin, and then you could carve it down to the size you want.
You can also get your
It just
celebration.
takes a little bit of
You
practice.
can also get your
I
celebration.
would
quilt.
recommend using some hardwood to practice on that you could get at the Home Depot for pretty cheap.
Woodworking jokes don't work. No, nobody knows what you're talking
Then
about.
you go out to a nice lumber yard and you get yourself some walnut. You get yourself some
Walnuts are pretty delicious.
You get yourself some. I'm talking the hardwood or some coffee.
Coffee's
some
also
wood,
really good.
and you just do it right from there. You just you put make sure you're wearing your glasses and you don't have a tie on
Do
when
you
using a
grind
lathe.
the walnuts and put them in the coffee?
Yes, that's exactly what you do.
Do you add some nutmeg in there?
One last thing before we end the podcast.
The celebration blanket?
Coming up next week is one of my favorite things in gaming, which is the Games Plus auction. One of my favorite things. I will give, of course, on the next one my kind of review of where I think the gaming industry and where the local Chicagoland. When I say local Chicagoland is a huge fucking gaming community. But where the shift is going to. I am expecting probably a dump of either Star Wars or Star Trek Armada. I think people may be slightly moving out of that. Star Wars is still huge.
I expect a dump of Dystopian Wars.
Dystopian Wars is dead. Spartan Games fucking screw themselves in at least this region because there's zero support. There's zero like trying to build a community, anything like that. And the funny thing is like I emailed them numerous times about. Like, hey, I would like to do this, or hey, I think this would be great, or hey, like, do you want to do it? Never gotten a single response from them. So I'm like, well, fuck you guys. I probably emailed like some do not reply email address for all I fucking know. But yeah,
Seems likely.
There was zero support, and it's a great they have so many great games that it's just like, well, fuck you. I mean, I know you don't agree with the exploding dice rules, but or was that you?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
And someone else that does not like the exploding. Redmond does not like the exploding dice rules for that game.
I like. Does it use D6s?
Yeah.
Nah, I wouldn't really like it. I like exploding dice on D10s.
Well, whatever. But yeah, it uses the D6s. I mean, I really like the rule set, and I think it's a fun small game with boats and spaceships or whatever your passion or pleasure is. But they fucking screwed the pooch. Those games are dead in the Chicagoland region. So. But yeah, I'm thinking that the Star Trek and Star Wars might be going. Those might be on the wayside.
If you're talking about X-Wing, I don't think so. Star Trek maybe, but not X-Wing.
You don't. Well, X-Wing. There's not much to expand. I mean, they did the Rebel Aces expansion, and then they're going to have that third Black Sun, fleet or whatever they want to call it, playable race. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be as big, and it's just a lot of repaints. So that's the only reason. It's Star Wars stuff is great,
People
but
who are playing X-Wing just suck up the repaints anyway, so I don't even care.
well, the thing is that Star Wars is not that deep of a license. You think it's deep, but it's not really that deep.
I mean, Star Wars is just stupid.
Yeah. However, that Star Wars
The
Rebel.
power of myth.
Did you see the Star Wars Rebel cartoon? The preview for it.
It looks dumb.
I think it looks great.
I bet you like the Clone Wars too.
Some of it's good. Did you see the Jenny Tarkovsky one, the original?
You mean the silent shorts?
Yeah.
Yes,
those
were
were
good.
fucking awesome.
But the entirety of those things are less than a normal episode of a cartoon show.
I know. Anyway, aside from that.
So yes, Star Wars works very well in 3-minute segments with no dialogue.
All right, so go to planetarbitrary.com for all your Planet Arbitrary needs. You could follow me on Twitter at Planet Arbitrary. You could follow Steve at SteveLikesDildosUpHisAss.com. Artisanal dildos up his ass.
Yeah, you dickhead.
Sorry.
You fucking douche lord.
And
And please address all messages to Joe as attention douche lord.
Actually, you know how many emails I get that say Steve sucks. Hey guys, I love your podcast. And that's that is the message right up there.
I'd be willing to be on almost none.
I have one right now. I could pull it up. I mostly
Something you wrote yourself. It doesn't really matter.
Okay, well, if we're going that way. So yeah, go, he's at Game Classy. Like our Facebook page, /Game Classy. Yeah, we're pretty good about that. There's more people who like Rum and Bones, by the way, on Facebook than like our Facebook page.
Our Facebook page is almost no likes. at all.
We're like North Korea, man.
You might as well not mention it because people who listen to this podcast don't like it.
But yes, please look for us on the iTunes. Leave us a nice 5-star review. You could say we blow, we suck. Steve's got Hershey Kiss nipples.
Leave a 1-star review.
But no, do not leave a 1-star review, please. You can put a 4-star, put a 5-star, maybe even 3-star if you're quite on the fence. But if you don't want to put a 3-star, don't put anything.
Make sure you inform everyone how vulgar we are.
God, that Byzantine guy.
It's so fucking good.
I just don't get it. Like
Anything but classy.
anything but classy. Also, look for us on YouTube's. We do have that there. People seem to like the YouTubes.
YouTubes.
I don't know
Although
why.
we like the views on that thing are fucking random as piss.
Yeah.
Like 2 of them we have are like at 300 something, and the other ones are like at 50. It's like what?
12.
It's like how is this a thing?
Yeah, it's just like it's a constant reminder whenever I look at those numbers of just like what the fuck am I
How
doing
unpopular
with my,
we
like,
are?
What the fuck am I doing with my life? Jesus Christ.
How in fact that in reality our podcast is listened to by about 20 people.
We actually have a decent. It's like I look at the numbers. And I'm like, oh, we have a good viewership. We got a good fan base and everything like that. And then I'm just like, I look and it's like people who like Rum and Bones on Facebook, like 3,000 people. I'm like, what the fuck? God, people like a fucking crazy ass Pirate Miniature game sculpted by a bunch of Spanish people.
Spaniards. They prefer Spaniards.
I refuse to call them that. The only person I will call a Spaniard is Russell Crowe in Gladiator. But aside from that,
for my ranch.
so Steve, until next week.
You can order your artisanal dildos at www.artisanaldildos.com.
Game classy.